Ladies and gentlemen, as we all heard, Brian Norman Jr. has fired his father, Brian Norman Sr., after losing to Devin Haney. Now, look, if you're familiar with the channel, Punch Drunk Boxing, I always say that fatherhood is prominent in the sport of boxing. I always support the dynamic of father and son, the collaboration of father and son in the sport of boxing. I think it's a beautiful thing. Is a lot of successful father and son collaboration, just like Naoya Inoue, Shingo Inoue. You got Teofimo Lopez and Teofimo Lopez Sr. You got Bill Haney and Devin Haney. You got Bozy Ennis, Boots Ennis, even fathers still in the corner like Virgil Ortiz Sr. and Virgil Ortiz. Just a lot of dynamic, a good dynamic. Danny Swift Garcia and Crazy Angel had a good run. Flo Mayweather Sr., Flo Mayweather, they had a good run. Sean Porter, Kenny Porter, the list goes on and on. But Brian Norman Jr. has proved Timothy Bradley right. And that's unfortunate because I was against what Timothy Bradley said a year ago, where he said that they should ban father trainers in the sport of boxing. And what I just alluded to, the success of father and trainers, I think it was wrong for him to say. I think it was a wrong opinion, and it sent a bad message. Hey, Lomachenko and Papachenko, right? Great success, collaboration right there as well. But I remember when Brian Norman Jr. was getting heavily criticized, and it started with Timothy Bradley. It started with Timothy Bradley. Brian Norman Jr. started getting criticized by Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley once said in the ESPN telecast that Brian Norman Jr. basically should find another trainer. Right there, already throwing shades at Brian Norman Sr.
Look, he needed a new coach. He needed this. He needed that.
As we all remember, when Brian Norman Sr. confronted Timothy Bradley, so by Brian Norman Jr. firing his dad, you proved Timothy Bradley right. Seems like a backstab situation. I hope it's not. I wish that it was mutual. I hope that's the real story. I don't know the facts, but hopefully it was mutual. But the way that it looks like. And I saw the little clip on his recent interview, and it looked like it looked like he was a little bit frustrated, whatever's going on behind the scenes. But at the end of the day, you proved Timothy Bradley right. Brian Norman Sr., who confronted Timothy Bradley, was willing to fight him for the respect of you as a son and the respect of the dynamic of father and son collaboration. I just think it was bad timing. You guys was undefeated leading up to the Devin Haney fight. Why, when y'all take your first loss in a professional, in a professional career, now you want to boot your dad, or y'all want to, break up the father and son collaboration? Why not go back to the gym, be motivated to be a better fighter, better trainer, have better chemistry, bring in some assistance and stuff like that? But I don't think it's great in the sport of boxing when you win all this time and you lose one time, and then now it's time to change up. I did say if you follow the channel, I said that Brian Norman Jr. was a manufactured fighter. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of manufacturer, in terms of career, moving careers and opponents to get yourself a position for a promotional deal, get on TV and stuff like that. Not necessarily that you ain't put in the work in the gym, but the structure of building a professional career and stuff like that, and what sometimes these managers and trainers need to do to get to get seen, to get signed. A lot of people do it, right? You see a lot of manufactured resume in the sport of boxing. That doesn't mean that you don't go in the gym and do your thing, and then when it's time for you to get that opportunity, like he did with Sian Tom, he did his thing. Devin Haney, I think that Devin Haney just had too much experience at this level, at the highest level, and Brian Norman Jr. just wasn't ready for Devin Haney. So I think it's bad timing. I don't like to see, I don't even like to see, even if you're not a father and son collaboration in the sport of boxing, I don't like to see a successful team and then everything got to switch up real fast. Give yourself an opportunity to go back into the drawing board, and then if it don't work for the next time, then you really do need to change. So I think that it proves Timothy Bradley right in this sense, because we seen the confrontation. That's the first time that people really knew who Brian Oman Jr. and Senior was, with the battle with Timothy Bradley, and it feels like Brian Oman Jr. did Timothy Bradley sentiment a favor. But me personally, I don't believe what Timothy Bradley feels like, that they should ban father and son collaboration. Because if you really think about it, if you really think about one of the best managers in the sport of boxing, that's Bill Haney. Done a wonderful job with Devin Haney. We seen Teofimo Lopez Sr. win Trainer of the Year 2020. You know what I'm saying? And look at the accomplishment that Teofimo Lopez Sr. and Tio has. You know, if it wasn't for the politics of the sport of boxing, you know, everybody will be recognizing him as the 2-division undisputed world champion by the age of 25. You know, so we got, and look at Inoue, arguably pound for pound #1, too. These are father-son collaborations. So you got one of the best managers in the sport of boxing. You got one of the best you got one of the best trainer of the year. And Shingo Inoue is a great trainer as well. Look what he done with Naoya Inoue, 2-division undisputed world champion in the span of 12 months. So I don't believe, and Timothy Bradley is saying, but Brian Oman Jr. gave him the kudos by firing his father. I think you should have gave yourself a chance. And these are the challenges that champions are made for. Go back to the drawing board, both of y'all, stick together and come up with a victory. I think it looks too weak, in my opinion. I think it's a sign of weakness by firing your father after a loss versus Devin Haney. I mean, in the second half of the fight, you can't. It looked like you made it a little bit of a challenging fight for Devin the Dream Haney, in which he needed to adjust. So just piggyback off the positive and add more to your game. You're only 23 years old. Y'all a young team in the game and already successful. So I don't understand. But let me know what y'all think, ladies and gentlemen. This is Punch on Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine himself. Love you. God bless. And on to the next.